everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a video from class, the topic local government in India, where you will get to know about the need and its growth and also the structure. So this is a part 1 of the top chapter local government in India from class 11 political science part A book, that is chapter number 8. You know that whenever you are facing any kind of issues or any kind of problems, then you will not get that kind of capacity, or you cannot get that kind of opportunities to go to the prime minister or go to the chief minister for sharing, or for for giving any kind of attention towards towards your problem. Okay, so for that reason you always try to go to your local or the localities, ministers or the administrators, those who can help you in that immediate or emergency period. So that means local government is that kind of government who can help you in an immediate manner, right? So similarly like that, we need to know about that what is local government and why do we need local government in our day-to-day life or in the society, and as well as we have to know that how India adopted this kind of structure, this kind of grassroots level government in our country, and also will know about the structure of the government. Okay, so let's start with our module local government. Local, you all know, means that the area which is in your locality, so that is local. So local government means it is a public administration of towns, cities, village and districts. That means wherever you are living, the surrounding administrators, the surrounding peoples, those who working in a government, those who have the power to solving your problems, that is known as local government. You can say the local guardian. So for that reason, that it's not possible for all the time to go and that taking a help from the chief minister or prime minister. So in that timing, the person, those who are living surrounding us, we need to take a help of them, right? So that's why we need to local government. So local government is a local administration, or you can say public administrators of the towns, cities, villages and districts. That means in a local manner. Okay, so why do we need local government? What's the purpose for the needs of the local government? Let's discuss about the needs of the local government. The needs of the local government, previously I already giving examples. Suppose if you have any difficulties, like whenever you are in a school or in a colleges anywhere, so if you wanted to take a leave and you want to give application, submit your application for taking a one week leave or 1 month leave, so in that timing, all the time you are not possible, you don't have that opportunity to go to the principal office and to submit it personally. So in that case, the student always have to submit their application to their class teachers. Their class teachers are transferred it to the principals, right? So and afterwards the class teachers try to take the decisions from the principal, and then they will solving this kind of things. So from that you can understand that the local government is class teacher. That means who are always surrounding to the around the student. So and it's not possible for the student to to directly go to the principal's office all the time, principal office all the time, or to meet the principal all the time. So they have to do it through the the media of the class teacher. So local government is also doing the same work. That local government is doing the that is working as a bridge between the people of society and with the state or central government, right? So the local government is the bridge between this that central state government and the local people of so every society. So that's why we need the local government as a mediator. Okay, now let's see that what is that that the needs of that. So local government are better aware of the local problems and issues. Like suppose if I'm giving an example that if I'm taking 2 examples, okay, Let's see, let's take the two example. Okay, let's say that, take the two example. Suppose there is a, that the state Rajasthan and the state is West Bengal. Okay, so in this that this West Bengal, that if I am taking the let's take totally the West Bengal, a particular state. Okay, so in West Bengal, you all know that all the areas of West Bengal is not same. Their climate, their atmosphere, their geographical, their political, that's not same. So suppose that the head of the West Bengal, you can say the CM of West Bengal, they are she is living in Kolkata, which is a metro city, right? Kolkata's life, its lifestyle, its climates, its that atmosphere, its society is totally different. And if you're taking an example of Darjeeling, which is also come under West Bengal, and the Darjeeling, that the area of the Darjeeling, that is a hilly station, that's totally different. And if you take an example of Mednapur, where we have Dighas, okay, that is the seasides areas are there. So this three portion, that is, one is hilly station, one is seasides, and another one is the plain areas. So it's not possible for the state government, that is the CM, those who are living in the Kolkata, to understand the problems of Darjeeling peoples and to understand the problems of the seaside peoples, because in the hilly station, during the month of that October, November, December, so that winter is in a very high manner, and in a January there's a snowfall also over there. So if in that timing, what kind of schemes and programs have to allowed, have to issued, that is not, that they can only get the idea, but they actually don't understand this one, because they are not suffering from that. But a person, those who belong to Darjeeling only, that is the local government, they are living in that area only, they will very much understand that in particular that time, during the time of the winter, what kind of facilities or what kind of that issues is suffering by the peoples of the Darjeeling. Then they can be solving that issue according to the situations of that particular area. And similarly, as well as in the sea areas also, what kind of issues during the time of the monsoons or during the time of the any other climate. So that will be most understand by the government of local government of Digha or the seaside. So by this way, I hope you get understand that the local government get more understand and they are more aware about the problems of the local people rather than the state government. So that's why it's a that the local government are better, the local government are better aware of the local problems and issues. Next one is that these bodies ensure your participation of the people in the democratic setup of the country. See, you all know that democratic, if we need a democratic setup in our country, we need the people's participations, right? The people's participation is very much needed. And who will ensure that yes, all the peoples can aware about the political areas, can aware about its democracy, can understand the democracy? It will be ensured by the local government only, because local government is the people, those who understand, those who know the language of the local people, those who understand the that the thinking, what kind of thinking or what kind of that the peoples are settled down in that particular society. So according to that, they can that influence the people for participating into the democratic that activities, so that the people can participate in that democratic setup. The local people can easily cooperate with these local bodies. See, if the people belonging, again if I am taking an example, that the people belonging to the Darjeeling, if from them only the local administrative is there, so they can that they can easily understand the language, the way of lifestyle, and the that the way of their living, standard of living, so they can easily cooperate with that. And local people also, without any hesitation, they can comfortably can that cooperate with the local government. But if that local government have to talk with the CM of the West Bengal, then it's very the difficult, or the the state government who are living in the Kolkata, and in a, that in a yearly, maybe one or twice in a year they are visiting. It's not possible for the local people to comfortably cooperate with them. So for that reason, local government also, that the peoples are cooperated with this body. So, and due to this reason, the local administratives are very much available, or they are very much comfortable to do the work and can develop the local areas. During during the grassroots level, means if the local we need the local government, as you know that I already explained that local government is the bridge between the state government and the people. So if any kind of development, the state government wanted to do any kind of a development in the local areas, in the corner of the that their districts and their villages and everywhere, so we need local government, because local government is a grassroots level. It is the top, that bottom of the government level. So if the local government is there, then the development of the country is ensured, and the peoples are very much easily comfortable with them, and that's why they are cooperated, and due to cooperation the local government can able to develop the villages or the towns and cities rather than the state government. So these are the reason why that local government is very much important for our that for our country or for our society. Now the question is maybe come to your mind that we are talking lots of things about the local government, but how local government growth, that they takes growth in our country, how the local government step in our country. So let me tell you about this one, that local government is not new to our country. Okay, so it is the self-governing village communities which is all the time are presented, is always presented in our country from the very beginning, but only the name is changed. In that timing they are known as sabhas. That the Maharaja also they have sabhas where all the people, all the that ministries, local that the kasbas, those who are the panchayat of the kasbas, or that those who are the head of the kasbas, that is subedars are there. So they all come and they are that informing the Raja that what kind of situations are going on into their kasbas or into their that locality. Okay, so we cannot say that local government is very new to in our country. It is all the in the very earliest time it is also that existed in India in the form of sabhas, that is village assemblies. But later on the name is changes, the structure is little bit changed, and right now we have a panchayat system where the 5 peoples are together to making a group for doing the development and giving the justice, and they are try to solve the issues of the village level. So right now only the that the structure and the name it is changed, but otherwise we already have this kind of that concept in our country from our ancient periods. If you see in the modern timing, where elected local government bodies were created after 1882, where Lord Ripon took this initiative. So in our India during the time of the 1882, before that we have this kind of things, but in 1882 election procedures came, where that it is the effort of the Lord Ripon that he took the initiative for creating this kind of bodies who are elected from the the people, and they created the local bodies, local government bodies, which is known as local boards. So they are elected, the bodies who are working as a local boards. Okay. After that the Government Act of 1990, the village panchayats were established in a number of provinces. It means after 1935 Act, it is continually going on that in every villages there is establishing the village panchayats. Even Mahatma Gandhi has strongly they feel that decentralization should be there, whether in a economical power, whether in a political power. Now let me tell you that what is decentralization. From class 10 federalism chapter you already have that learned about the word decentralization. Centralized means, see, this is a point which is centralized, means only in a particular, everything will be in one hand. And when this point is, that spreaded to all the sides, that means it's decentralized. It's not in a one hand, it is divided into so many parts. So that is called decentralization. So Mahatma Gandhi always wanted that the power, economical power or the political power, should not be controlled by any particular hand. It should be distributed. It should be, the wealth of the resources of our country should be distributed. The political power, the administrative power should be distributed among the, among the grassroots level, that is the local government. So this is what you can observe, that the growth of the local government, that means that in India we don't, the local government, the concept of the local government is not, that is not the new one, is not a modern one. We have it from the very early ancient period of time. Only the structure and, that little bit rename is going, the new name is given, and little bit the process or the structures is, that is taken as a modern, in a modern way. But this term or this concept we have already in our country. So by this way, the growth of local government, one by one, it is come into our country. But after so many growths, after that after so many development, so many growth in the concept of the local government, still there is two main important reason that why that up to 1992 our Indian constitution, the concept of the local government is not received that kind of adequate importance. It in that in Indian constitution it is not included, it's not get that importance of what these types of government deserve. There is a two reason. Okay, so let's me explain you about the two reason. The first one is the reason which is given by the Nehru. During the time of, you all know that during the time of, that from the 1947 till we can say that in the 1950s or 55, like this periods of time, this span of time, that due to the partition between, that India and Pakistan, lots of lots of problem arises, lots of riots arises, and people are somehow, that they are very much give importance to their localized, give importance to the local, that local ethnic cultures. And in this reason, in this timing, Nehru believed that if we are giving so much importance to the local government, the people are only, that they are believe in the extreme localized. They are, not giving respect to the other peoples who are not in their locality. So if we are giving all the power to the local government, then the peoples only, they will be live in their particular, narrow border, where only their types of or their locality, their ethnic cultural people will be settled down, and they are not giving importance to the other cultures which are outside from their locality. So, and it is a threat to the unity and integrity of the nation when the nation is that giving so much effort for integration of all the princely state and to merging all the states and creating a developed country. So Nehru is not agree with that. And along with that, B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar also does not like this kind of, giving importance to the local government, because you all know that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar are always, that giving favor to, or you can say give importance to the people, those who are backward, because Dr. B.R. Ambedkar always try to give the reservation to the backward people so that they can, come to the forward and they can also get some facilities like the other. But according to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, they are afraid that if we are giving all the powers to the local government, to the rural level, then the local government will be, controlled by the people, those who are in a high caste. Then in that matter, due to this, that giving a more power to them, only the high caste people will be, control the society, and due to that reason, somehow the backward peoples are going to backward more rather than coming forward. So due to this reason, both the important person of our country, that is Nehru and B.R. Ambedkar, they are not very much giving importance to the local government concept in our constitution. But somehow, that after 73rd and 74th amendment in 1989, In 1989, the central government, they introduced some constitutional amendment. They introduced some modification in the constitution, and they try to included a uniform structure of that local government, and making the structure in a uniform manner, in a same manner in every state, in every society, and also try to adopted the uniform function, so that across the country, that whenever you are taking, or whether it's a West Bengal local government or it's a Rajasthan local government, anywhere local government, that the structure, its function always be equal across the country. So in 1989 the constitution was amendments are taken, and so finally in 1992 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment were passed out by the parliament. Under the 73rd amendment, rural government are there, which is known as PR system, that is Panchayati Raj institution system, and under 74th amendment the urban government will be taken, which is known as Nagar Palikas or municipality. So we can say that the 73rd and 74th amendment come into force in 1993. Now let me give you one small introduction regarding the structure of the local government. In my next video, you will know about in a details manner about this structure. So here only you have to get to know about the little bit introduction about the structure of the local government we have in 73rd and what we have in 74th amendment. Let's see. So local government are divided into two parts. Okay. One is 73rd amendment, another is 74th amendment. 74th amendment is known as the rural government, that is the village government, and 74 is talking about the urban government. Under rural government we have Panchayati Raj institution, and under the urban government we have municipalities. Now both the types have three different levels. Let me explain you about the Panchayati Raj levels. Panchayati Raj levels, or you can say Panchayati Raj institution, which is established in 1993, is divided into three levels. The top bottom, from top to bottom there is a three level. In the bottom, that is in the grassroots level, we have a village level where the villages are there. So that is divided into two parts. One is Gram Panchayat and Gram Sabha. So each and every villages come under Gram Sabha, and by two or three villages togetherly they are making one Gram Panchayat, who have the head that is known as Sarpanch. Now after that so many villages which is come under the block level, that is the second level of the Panchayati Raj, that is a block level which belongs to Panchayat Samiti. And the third one, or you can say the apex, that is the topmost level, is a Jila Parishad, which is come under the district level. So there is a three type levels are there. One is village level, which is grassroots level, where the Gram Panchayat and Gram Sabha came. Then is second one is block level, which is a middle one, which belongs to Panchayat Samiti, and in the apex or in the topmost is the district level, where we get the Jila Parishad. So this is the rural government, or you can say the village government. Let me talk to you about the the municipality, that is the town or urban government. The big cities, that is mainly the metro cities, or the the cities who have more than 1 lakh people or like that, they have or more than 3 lakhs people are there, which is known as municipal corporation. Next one is the small towns and cities, or you can say small towns are there, which have maybe from 30,000 to 3 lakh people, is known as municipality or municipal corporation. And the semi-towns, which is not a village but not a town, which is just that located inside of the township area, so they are known as Nagar Panchayat. Okay, so these are the structure of the that the local government. I hope you understand about the needs and growth and structure of the local government. In my next video you will get to know about the you will get to know about this structure, that is the 73rd amendment, which is where I will explain about these three levels along with its functions, its source of incomes and composition. Okay, and in that and after that you will get to know about the 74th one, where I will explain this things. So I hope you will understand about all these things regarding the local government. And the local government chapter are divided into three parts. The part 1 where you know about the interactions, its needs and its structure, which you already are watching this one. And part 2 will be on the basis of 73rd amendment, and part 3 will be that will be 74th amendment. So thank you so much for watching my video.